Okay. And headphones. Okay. Okay, I think we're all set here. Perfect. Stream is now a go. Cool. Alright. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And for the first time ever, I'm orchestrating a Scratchworks workshop through the use of YouTube Live. My name is Brandon, and I have plenty of experience in making Scratch games. I've been making Scratch games since I was very young, since I would say like 2006 maybe. Maybe later than that, probably like 2009. I've been making Scratch games, and Scratch has just been a very, very easy software to learn. First ever software I've ever learned for game making, as well as just coding in general. And my favorite type of game that I would consistently try to make has always been a fighting game. And each time I go back into it, I continue to further perfect the fighting game formula in Scratch. Today is a fun one. Today, we are going to work together on making a fighting game. I got the basis, and all I need your help in is creating the character. We are going to work together on making a fighting game character. And you may be wondering, what is a fighting game? Just in case, I will cover my bases. Just in case.
I was top 8 before.
Oh. Okay, so, in short, a fighting game is a video game that pits two players against each other, traditionally, and the goal is to either have the most health by the end of the timer, or take down your opponent's health all the way to 0. And there are many kinds of characters in a fighting game. Whatever it takes. We have characters who just use like punches, kicks, swords. Sometimes they throw projectiles, fireballs, all sorts. And people go out all over the world to compete in fighting games to win lots of money. This right here is actually the grand finals at EVO for Street Fighter 6. And whoever wins this match will win $3 million. So literally right here in this match, we find out who becomes a millionaire just from playing fighting games. Now, the fighting game that we're creating is loosely based off of Street Fighter, in fact. Coincidentally, this right here is called Hack Fighter. The goal of this game is to include your characters into the fight. So we'll do a quick test run of this game.
Cat versus cat. Round 1. Fight. KO. Cat wins.
Okay, so I won that game right there. So, this game functions essentially like an arcade fighter. So, for those of you who've grown up in the 90s, this game right here is more so based on the arcade type of games, where you would walk up to the machine, you would insert your coin, and only then can you play. Now, this right here is very much a two-player game. Yep. Now, in order to fight, player 1 controls their character with the WASD keys, or in short, WASD. And to attack, you would press C. Player 2, on the other hand, uses the arrow keys in order to move, and then they attack with O. Now, your characters can have as many attacks as you are capable of making. You can have as many attacks as you want. I have no limitations whatsoever. It's totally fine. And just for example's sake, the Scratch Cat only has one attack, but of course we can very well add more attacks into the moveset. So, yeah, this is the game we're working on, and the goal of today is to add a new character on this roster right here. So, let's get started. So, you might right now be in the on the Scratch homepage, scratch.mit.edu. That's the website you want to be on. This website also has a whole bunch of different Scratch games on here for you to try out if you'd like. If you happen to have a Scratch account of your own, more power to you. I highly recommend having a Scratch account. You can make a Scratch account on the top right corner. It's a pretty quick process. Just username, password. Really, as long as you can remember that, you'll be fine and you can share your projects right off the bat. Now for us, for our purposes, to make a fighting game character, the first step is to go up to the top tab, hit create. I'm going to have some... No. Cool. So here we are in just complete blank. We are focusing more so on just designing the character. I'm going to show as little coding really as possible. All that matters is the design of the character and how much you are capable of making it. So, step 1 is getting rid of the cat. Over at the right hand side, there's this little trash can icon. I can kill the cat. Yes. And now we are left with a blank screen. And first I want to do a little bit of planning. Just a little bit of planning. Figure out what kind of character I would like to make, right? Take your time with it. Maybe we'll do like, let's do like 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, I'm going to go in and just plan out my character. You can do this on a piece of paper. You can do this on Photoshop. In fact, I could do this. I could do this right here on Scratch directly, just on planning out the character. Yeah, you can do it on paper. You can do it on whatever drawing software you have. All that matters is that you're just planning it out. So, ultimately, what you want to think about is just, who is this character? What attacks do they do? That's supposed to be a boxing glove. Do they have any special moves? What are their stats? Speed is like one stat, for example. Maybe attack is like another stat. Like attack of 5 or something. I don't know. It's really up to you. So, I'm going to take a moment to just start planning it out. I'll give it like 5 minutes. Alright. We are all good right here. So, hopefully you had enough time to make a little bit of a plan. Again, you can have as many attacks as you want. And what I'm now going to do, I'm just going to talk about this character. So, this right here is Mr. Clubhouse. Essentially, his design is he's going to be based on the current mascot of our esports division. It's literally a panther with yellow eyes. So I figured let's make him act like a mixture of Black Panther from like the Marvel comics and King from Tekken. So in fighting game terms, you have a mixture of a rushdown and a grappler, meaning the rushdown in him means he has a high amount of speed, jumping. He can attack from just about any angle. And it's all about being very unpredictable in how he like jumps in at you. Meanwhile, the grappler end is the grappler's goal is to get very close and then punish you with very high damaging grabs. Like very unrelenting grabs. So Mr. Clubhouse is going to have a mixture of punches, kicks, body slams, and grabbing. You're going to see a lot of that. And I think just to throw sand in the opponent's face even further, I want him to scream "bodied" after winning, or like every time he does like a body slam or like another grab. I think that's just gonna be his roar right there. Like I want the opponent to just feel helpless from every high damaging attack. So I think that's what I'm going to be working with as well. Now, if you have a character that you have planned out, be ready. Be ready to start working on it. And by the end, just send me the link to your Scratch project, and I'll incorporate them into the game as well. So, stick around. So, we have the plan for the character. We have who they are. We have their attacks. We have potential sound effects. So we're going to work with this. So currently I already have a sprite prepared. So I'm going to go ahead at the bottom left corner for choose a costume. I'm going to paint. Now, there are many different approaches you can take with making your character. There are some easier ways to do it. And now technically, for educational purposes, we are capable of using an already existing property. Now, just be aware that if a day comes in which money is on the line in order to bring sales to the game and such, then those like existing properties would have to be scrapped. So I highly urge that you create your own existing character. With that being said, there's multiple ways you can approach this, right? You can either choose a sprite that already exists, who already has like a bunch of like costumes, and Scratch has many different costumes for their sprite. You can also upload a sprite if you happen to have downloaded one from the internet. Just know that will be a whole process of its own, because they tend to be highly animated sprites. So you'll have a lot to work with. Or you can do what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint my sprites. So the way I'm going to paint my character, or I'm going to create my character, I'm going to do what's called the paper doll method. Essentially, you have your character broken up into many different body parts. Body parts. Very, 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 very many body parts. And whenever you create each costume, you put those together into a pose. You start them off separate, and then you make the pose in different costumes. I'll show you what I mean. So, paper doll. You take a body part like the head, and then you have like the arms, and then you have like the torso, legs. These are all drawn separately, because then when I duplicate this costume, I can go right back, I can go in, and I can start forming the actual character from here. Whoop. Looks like even the eyes are like that. See? So that's the whole idea of the paper doll method. And you can very much take your time with this. So the tools you'll end up using are going to be the mouse, this little cursor, which is what you would use in order to move the pieces. You would select, you can make a box to select everything that you would like to move around. You can rotate with this bottom anchor here. You can use the paintbrush in order to actually draw your character. The bucket is how you fill in the color. This colored square, by the way, is how you would change the color of your fill. You can use the line to actually create much sharper, more precise angles. Square creates squares, circles create circles, ovals. We also call them all ellipses. Text is if you want to add like words and stuff. Eraser erases things. And then you have this little guy right here. This is like the select tool, except now you can actually move around the different angles, or like the different edges of your drawing. Now this is as long as your drawings remain in a vector. Right now we are in vector mode. If you were to accidentally click on bitmap, this would all be gone. So try your best not to touch that bitmap button. Do not do it. I do not recommend it. Anyway. So yeah, let's get this started. Take your time. Also, if you have a drawing, right, and you select it, you actually have even more tools. So you have group, ungroup, That's if you have selected multiple drawings. Yeah, forward and backwards, because this drawing tool actually has like layers. Front and back. You have copy and paste. You have delete, and then you can also flip horizontally and vertically. And then the actual very center, this little target thing, this is actually considered the center of your image. Something that we will definitely be playing with later down the line. Alright. So, we'll take like 10 minutes. I'm going to draw Mr. Clubhouse. Take your time to draw your characters. Remember, draw all the body parts separately. Alright. Good luck, y'all. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Y'all can message me in the YouTube chat.
So I continue on with the first word Aren't you about ready to go home now?
Yo, check this out.
One, two, three, break it down.
Get busy. Get busy. Get busy. Get busy.
One, two, three, kick it. One, two, three, break it down.
Get busy. Get busy. Get busy. Get busy.
One, two, three, kick it. One, two, three, break it down.
Get busy. Get busy. Get busy. Get busy.
One, two, three, kick it. One, two, three, break it down.
Get busy. Get busy. Get busy. Get busy.
One, two, three, kick it. One, two, three, break it down.
Cool. We got our character here. And he's broken down into all the body parts. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and create the idle pose. So when it comes to every single new costume that you're going to do, you always want to duplicate. This way, you don't mess up the actual ragdoll that you're copying him from, because you need him every single time. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and make his idle pose. The idle pose is just the pose you do when you're standing and you're pressing no buttons whatsoever. So I'll bring his torso in the center, maybe right here. I'll bring his head up here. Legs can be down here. And then arms. Whoopsie. Give me something like that. And yeah, Mr. Clubhouse. Let me get that. There we go. Okay. So now my guy is all in one piece. Now I want to make him do a little more of a fighting pose. So I can actually manipulate this a little bit more. There we go. Let's do... So I can use this... What is this even called? Reshape. Okay. So I can use this reshape. To actually mess with this pose a bit. Just a little bit. I thought I could. Oh, let me also bring this up to the front. Oh. Oh wait, I can ungroup? Let's see. No. Whoops. I thought I could like ungroup, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh, no, messed that one up too. Alright, so I think the mistake that I made here was that I made the whole entire arm one group, but I think it would be much better if I were to separate the upper arm and the lower arm as separate groups. That way it'll be a lot easier to do those poses that I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Group. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it looks better. Group. Group. I'm gonna do the same thing for the legs. That. Group this. Copy and paste. Alright. Now, let's see the big difference. Oh yeah, much more posable. Let's see if I can find an idle pose. Nah, it doesn't look like I can find one. Alright. Yeah, so you're going to use a lot of the mouse tool now to move your limbs about. Take this to the back. This backwards. Right. I'll take this to the front. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now we have a better pose. At least to the best of our ability. Now I'm gonna call this the idol. Okay, so next, now that I have the idle pose, it's time to do like one attack. Yeah, it's 5:40, so I have time to do at least one attack. Well, I can do a couple attacks. It's just I'll probably only have time to program one attack. So let me start with his punch. So I can actually duplicate from the idle pose, and I can select. I can be sure to just select his arm, for example. And then just manipulate that to however I need it to go. Whoops. It won't be perfect. It won't be easy. Sometimes you'll grab the wrong limb or the wrong body part, you know? That's why you have the undo button, you know? You got the Control Z to go backwards, just in case, you know? Alright. So, we got the punch. Yeah, we'll just call you the punch. Now I'm going to duplicate because I want that kick. Kicking is a very, very great move. Alright. And I want the rest of his body to actually, like, turn away a little bit. So, let me do that. Oh, no! Okay. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. my guy has like some attacks right here, huh? Yeah, yeah. All right, we'll call this the kick. Okay, what else do we want? Oh, the body slam? The body slam. We're gonna have a body slam. Okay. All right, this is gonna be a fun one. Let's start from like right here with this. Yeah, so you just keep duplicating. You keep duplicating, and then you keep using the mouse button to like move each body part around. Okay, let me make this body slam real quick. Let's rotate this. Back. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Put this one in the back. Yeah! It's like a pounce. Boom. We call it the body slam. I'm gonna call it slam for short. Okay. Okay, grabs. I think grabbing is going to be a lot. So, I think I'll save grabs for another time. Okay. Screams bodied after winning. Okay. This is going to be a bit fun. Alright. Okay, so I have his 3 attacks. I have his 3 attacks. Don't worry about this. I have his body slam. I have his punch. I have his kick. And I have his idle animation. I have 3 different attacks. Next, it's time to get some sound effects in. So, in the Sounds tab, this is where you can actually start recording voices. If I hit record, I need permission. Yes, we'll use the microphone. Perfect. So I record the voice, and it records. I hit the stop recording, and I can just play it back. And it records. Alright. So, I'm going to need 3 different sounds. I need one for his body slam. I need a kick. I need a punch. So, here we go. Let's start with his signature phrase. Bodied. 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 Let's try this again. Bodied. 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 Yeah. Bodied. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know how so in Tekken, King, the character King, all he makes are just lion noises, just like jaguar noises. So, for this character, I want him to be the same, but the only noises he makes are just bodied. 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 Okay, next I do need some sound effects. I need like a low whoosh to like sound like he's throwing like a punch or a kick. So we can actually look for these sounds, like choose a sound. And I think I'm going to check out the effects. Let's see if I can find that low whoosh. No. I think it was in the L's. Hold up. There it is. Yeah. Alright. We got that. And then we need a high whoosh for the punch. Let's see, I know we have that around here. Yep, there it is. Alright. Okay. Next. We need that body slam sound effect. Like, this is where we go into, like, Foley. So, you're not going to see it because I have my camera off, but I'm going to, like, try to replicate the sound of, like, something heavy. Nah. Maybe, let's see. So, in Foley, we have to, like, play around with, like, a lot of different objects. Maybe not that. Let's see. Okay. Okay. We can work with that sound. So for this one, I'm actually going to put the microphone on the floor, and I'm actually going to record this sound. Whoop. No, I cannot. Alright, I cannot do that. But, you know what? That's okay. Here we go. Let's see. That really, I think that bounces a little too much. Let's try this again. There it is. Alright. can actually add a little bit of echo, I believe. No, you don't have that. That's fine. That's fine. Hook. All right. Okay. So we have our sound effect. This will be the slam. High whoosh, low whoosh. We got call this voice 2. And we'll call this voice 1.
Bodied! Bodied!
Okay. Believe it or not, the fun part is indeed the coding. So, from here, do your best at this. We're going to code our character to do everything we need him to do. So, first, we're going to code the character to go left and right. Now, if you're already experienced in this, you can move right on ahead. But if not, feel free to follow along for a bit. This could apply to you. Unless your character is different, in which case, just let me know. So, let's start with left-right. Let's start with movement. So, WASD. So, when A is pressed, change X by -10. And when D is pressed, change X by 10. There we go. Cool. Now, when it comes to keyboards, whenever you hold down a button on the keyboard, there will be a set delay. Now, you could go inside of like your computer settings and reduce the delay to 0, or you can do what I'm about to do and just add a loop. The reason we want to get rid of this delay is because with the delay, your character tends to be much more sluggish. It kind of hurts that game feel. So, I'm going to go into control. I'm going to add any kind of loop. So in this case, I'll do like a repeat until for this one. I'm going to essentially tell this game that I'm going to just keep moving until I let go of the button. In which case, I need to go to operators and get the not boolean. And just place that inside. Then I go into sensing and get a boolean called key space pressed. And change that to our needed button. And now we get much more smoother movement. Perfect. Next, we need the jump. So I'm going to press W. And we'll change Y by 10. Now, right now, he just goes up once and, nothing else happens. There's no gravity acting upon him. So, first I'm going to go ahead and code gravity real quick. So I'm going to go into events. When the green flag is clicked, I'm going to add a forever loop. And by this means, he's going to always go down. So I'm going to get change y by 10, and we'll make it a minus 10. And now he forever goes down below the earth. Right now we have no ground for him to like stand on. So let's go ahead and just quickly make a ground. Make a new sprite. And this new sprite just needs to be a big old rectangle. And we can bring this low right here. Oh, and I'll call this, and I'll rename it from Sprite 2 to Ground. Okay, so from here, right now it still says forever just go down. Oh, also we lost our guy. But not to worry. Go to 0, 0. Now he's back. Cool. Now, so we need him to continue going down on the condition that he is not touching the ground. Pretty similar to how we did our repeat until. So we're gonna go to operators and just get this not boolean. Oh right, we have to also get the if block as well. Get the if block, feed it inside like so, very gently, like that. That's the good old if then block. Now we get the not. And then we scroll on into sensing and get touching mouse pointer. We change the mouse pointer to the name of our sprite, which I have named it ground. Ground. And boom, you can see Mr. Clubhouse is no longer falling. If I hoist him up to the sky, he falls right back down. And I'm going to also change the size of Mr. Clubhouse. Let's go size 50. Okay. Now let's work a bit more on our jump. Right now it just says when W is pressed, change Y by 10. He only jumps that little bit. And that is because right now I'm changing Y by positive 10 while gravity is pushing him down by minus 10. So they're just canceling each other out, which means you have a net of 0. So, quick fix is we tell our guy when he jumps, we want him to go up even higher than that, maybe like 30. And boom, now it goes up. Now, I had to hold down the button for that, but to make sure that he just makes that leap, let's go into control and let's get repeat 10. There. Now in just one tap. In one tap, he gets a nice ferocious jump. Right now he has a moon jump. We're going to make sure that he can only do this jump if he's coming from the ground. So let's just add an if-then block. And go into sensing. And we'll say touching mouse pointer. Change it to ground. And just like that. He can go left, he can go right, he can now jump. He got all the tools he needs. Alright, next thing. Most important thing. The attack button. Now, I have 3 attacks. So, hey, I might have 3 attacks. I might have 3 buttons for my attacks. Who knows? But, in any case, let me go ahead and start with my attack button. One space key pressed. Let's change this to the C button, our attack button. We will go to looks. Switch costume to punch. And let's go and get that high whoosh. From the sound, start sound, high whoosh. And right now his arm just sticks there in the air. So let's tell him to wait maybe like 0.1. And then he'll bring his hand right back. Idle. Switch costume to idle. Now, there we go. Now he dishes out a very quick jab. Next, I'm going to make his kick attack. I want his kick to feel a bit heavier, and I'm going to press V in order to pull off this kick. So when V is pressed, switch costume to kick. Let's get the low whoosh. And we'll have him wait a little bit longer. Hey, maybe like 0.3. And then let him switch back to costume idle. Yeah, like that. Yeah. So now I can look at that. He punches. He kicks. So right off the bat, we have 2 attacks. Alright. Now, the last attack I'm going to do is the body slam. This one's a very, very special case. I've already covered like the general attacks that you would try to do, but this right here is going to be like a special attack. So, let me quickly do my thing. I might walk you through this one. You might have fun with this one. Okay. Okay, so for this body slam, I'm going to just keep it the V button. So now the V button is going to do 2 things. Firstly, I'm going to use this if then else. And this is how we kind of make the little branching path. So I'm going to place this right in here. Because with this if then, I want him to only do the kick if he's on the ground. So let's get this. Only if he's touching the ground. Now if he's not touching the ground, then I want him to do the body slam. Switch costume to slam. Okay. Yeah. Switch costume to slam. And I want him to stay at the slam until he reaches the ground. So I'm going to get a wait until. Yeah. Also, I want him to, like, yell the word bodied.
Bodied! Bodied!
Yeah.
Bodied!
Let's do this. Yeah. Alright. Now, when he hits the ground, I also want him to wait like one second before he gets back up. And then I'm going to tell him to get back up and get right back into his idle pose. Yeah. Let's see how this went. Alright. Alright, so he does the kick. Now let's jump.
Bodied!
Yeah! Ah, I love that. I love that. I love that. Now, there's a small issue, and that can easily be fixed with like recentering my costumes. Oh, whoopsie. Wrong one. So I'm just gonna recenter the costume. Just like that. Boom. There. Alright. Let's see it. Okay.
Bodied!
Oh yeah, that's clean. That's clean right there. Oh my gosh. That right there. That is clean. Let's look at this. Let's put this in full screen. We got the punch, we got the kick. Now remember, the kick button is the same as our body slam button. So I'm gonna do a jump and now body slam! Yeah! Yeah!
Bodied!
There it is. So I got my 3 attacks. I have my 3 attacks just like that. And these 3 attacks right here are all I need in order to then put him in the game. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, this is clean. Alright, so I got 1 hour left. So from here, y'all should be good to go on like making all of your attacks, all of your voices and such. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to port this character into our Hack Fighter video game. And I'll show you all my process. First of all, I need to save my project. Oh, let me rename him too. Let's call him Mr. Clubhouse. I'm gonna save. Save. Now, if you as well want your character in this game, be sure that after you hit that Save Now feature, you then hit the share button. And when you share it, it goes out into the public. And it also comes with a nice little link right here. You copy that link, Control C, and then you go back into the YouTube chat and hit Control V. Speaking of that chat, let me check if there are any comments. Nope, no comments yet. I had to check manually on my phone because right now YouTube has like safety features. Our internet has like safety features. Our internet has safety features that prevent me from looking at the chat from the computer. So to get around it, I'm looking at the live from my phone using my mobile data. Anyway, let me go ahead and try to get Mr. Clubhouse inside of the game. First of all, right now his name is Sprite1. I forgot to rename him. Call him whatever you want, the name of your character. I'm going to call him Clubhouse. Mr. Clubhouse. There. Mr. Clubhouse. Then now, the way we get this into the Scratch game, it can vary. If you don't have a Scratch account, you would right-click on your sprite, and you would export him. Now, if you do have a Scratch account, and you happen to have shared this with me, what I would end up doing is now I have this little backpack here at the bottom, and so I'm going to drag Mr. Clubhouse right inside. And then I'm going to go into my Hack Fighter game, and I drag him right out. And there he is. He's in the game already. But there is some programming to do in order to like fit him in. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix him up real quick.
Mr. Dog Clubhouse vs. Cat. Round 1. Fight.
Bodied.
KO. Round 2. Mr. Dog Clubhouse vs. Cat. Round 1. Fight. Mr. Dog Clubhouse vs. Cat. Round 1. Fight.
Bodied. 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 Bodied.
Round 2. Fight.
Bodied. 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 Bodied.
Mr. Dog Clubhouse vs. Cat. Round 1. Fight.
Bodied. Bodied. Bodied.
Round 2. Fight.
Bodied. 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 Bodied.
KO. Final round. Fight.
Bodied. Bodied. Bodied.
KO. Mr. Dog Clubhouse wins. Mr. Clubhouse versus Cat. Round 1. Fight.
Bodied. 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 Bodied.
KO. Round 2. Fight. KO. Final round. Fight.
Bodied. 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 Bodied.
Mr. Clubhouse wins.
Okay. Okay. We have a finished product on our hands. New character, Mr. Clubhouse, joins the battle.
Mr. Clubhouse versus Cat. Round 1. Fight.
He has punch, he got the kick, and most importantly, he got the slam.
Bodied.
Round 2. Fight.
Bodied.
Within just an hour, he's in the game, and he's already
Bodied.
taking names. Ow.
Final round. Fight.
Bodied. Bodied.
KO. Mr. Clubhouse wins.
So that is the process of putting a character into a scratch fighting game. Especially this one. So, if you have any questions, you can just let me know in the comments. I'll get to those. If you have a character that you're ready to put into the game, send the link in the comments as well, and we'll put them in there. So, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please go ahead and subscribe. And we shall see you till next time. Happy scratching.